Good afternoon, everyone. It's Jazz. It's the West Ham Minds channel. Special show today, everyone, for you guys. But first of all, welcome to, our usual family, usual subscribers, viewers. Thank you for your continuing support. And if you're new and you want to, check out Crazy Jazz most days with his views about West Ham and things like that, please subscribe, spread the word. We want to hit 3,000 subs. Anyway, today's special show, following on from yesterday's 5-1 drubbing by Liverpool, and following on from the 5-0 drubbing by Fulham a week before that, following on from that, the last couple of years of pretty drab football, to be fair, and following on from what's kind of hit the headlines and coming to a head now between us, the fans, performances on the pitch. It's just that there's a fan base split between, do you hate David Moyes more? Do you hate Sullivan more? Do you blame Sullivan more? Do you blame Moyes more? Has the ground move, have you still not been able to get your head over the ground move? It's been a number of years now. So will that Sullivan hate always be above the Moyes hate? Or do you love Sullivan, you love Moyes? Or do you hate Sullivan, you love Moyes? It's really interesting, isn't it, fan to fan, really? For me, I don't really have any hate for Sullivan. I think that's kind of gone. I'm not happy with the ground move, but I've learned to accept it. I don't enjoy it. I don't go there as often as I would like. It's not an enjoyable experience going through Westfield, getting lost in the shopping centre time and time again. The quality of the food outlets, the prices, the quality of how they pour the beer, the stewards, not West Ham stewards, haven't got Scooby what's going on. Some of the views of some of the pitches, the atmosphere, most of the time, not saying all the time, most of the time, is not for me. I just don't get that cozy West Ham feel around the ground. Pretty cold for me. It's just not vibrant enough for me, really. But with Sullivan, I've just learnt to accept it. One day he'll be gone. I don't know what's going to happen after that. There's too many questions for me to worry about. You know, who's the shareholders, who's going to come in, who's going to buy who out, the Qataris coming in, the Arabs coming in, this potentially. I ain't got time for none of that. There's too many ifs and buts, right? For me, my worry is on the pitch, which should be, right? Football club first, ownership. We can't control that. For me, with West Ham, the most important thing is the quality of the football, the kind of entertainment out there, which is from as a kid when John Lyle was in charge. It's kind of been a footprint on my heart, most fans' hearts, and the whole club, really. Ron Greenwood, for those of you who don't know, came in from Arsenal as a coach, unknown coach. I think he took over from Ted Fenton in the 60s, if I'm not wrong, and he followed the Hungarian way of playing football, the Madrid team that won 5 European Cups in the 50s, 60s, that kind of thing. And up until 1989, I think we only had 4 managers, and there was a West Ham way. I know people take the piss. There was a West Ham way. And even after that, to be fair, Billy Bonds, Harry Redknapp, Alan Pardew, they carried on playing the West Ham way, Bilic as well. So largely, huge percentage in West Ham's history, we've played good football. Sam Allardyce can take the piss. Moyes can take the piss. To a large degree, I think Kirbishley understand. Even though he was a West Ham boy, local boy, claret and blue blood, his football was kind of... I don't think it was good or bad. It was kind of in the middle, I'd say. Whereas Sam was results driven. Moisey, fuck knows what he's driven. I don't know what it is. I don't want to go into that at the moment. I mean, for this particular what I was saying. So for me, that's really, really important. And we haven't won that many trophies for a while. We've won one, but that was after a long, long time. And we're not in it to kind of win it. We'd love to win more cups, obviously. But the main thing for us is 2 things: playing good football and that the players give 110% out there. And that's all we want. We want 100% commitment. That's why we got heroes like Billy Bonds and Julian Dix, left it all out there. 100%, 110% commitment. And we get it. Sometimes we want to be beaten by the better team. We get it. But as long as we've put the tackles in, the shift in, the running around, our crowd celebrates a good tackle just as much as a good goal. I'm not going to speak about any other club. I don't support any other club. I don't know the nitty and gritty of their club. I know my history. I know the nitty gritty of West Ham. I know the culture, the fans, the history. I know it. No one else will know it. Jamie Carragher won't know it. Some other people won't know it. It's our club. Players that have played for our club, that gave a shit about our club, they come to the club saying we didn't know nothing, but when we left West Ham, it was in our blood for life. You could have players out there that have played for 9 clubs, but playing for West Ham in that period, you often hear, and it's not a cliche or I'd have to say that. You can see it. It's a theme that's over and over. It happens over and over again. Once you've played for this club, once you've supported this club, it's in your blood for life. And I don't know if that's the same for other players or not. I don't know. Other clubs, I don't know. This is our club, our culture, right? And at the moment, and again, I don't mind what opinion fans have got. The only thing I always say to the West Ham family is never get personal on social media against anyone or their family. Try not to swear. I know it's good coming from me. I'm not really good role model, but I swear. I don't swear at individuals. I usually swear at a club and what's going on the pitch. I don't call out supporters personally and say something, you know. So I would say is I respect all opinions. It's nice if someone can back up. It's always interesting to have a debate, but as long as that debate doesn't cross the line, and then just don't get personal, don't get rude about people. And we're a West Ham family. We don't need in-house fighting. We got other fans having a go at us anyway. That's more than enough for us, really. And the point of this show was that some fans are okay with what's going on. They said that it's kind of better than being relegated. At least we won something. And other fans are kind of had enough. We want better football. But what I wanted to lay out there in a really, really interesting way is there's a blame game developing between David Moyes and Sullivan. You can see there's like a sixth sense out there. No one's clearly going to say anything against each other. You know, Sullivan, rightly so as an owner. Thankfully, he's a lot more quieter these days. You know, although January window comes up, and he'll pop up and talk sport after the window to explain what's gone on, things like that. But largely, you won't hear nothing about Sullivan against him, and you shouldn't hear it anyway. It's all indoors, really. And I think there's a blame game happening now. And the interview yesterday after the match from David Moyes giving a hint that, and so much words saying to the fans that, you wanted me to rotate, you wanted me to make changes, you wanted me to bring all these players on that sit on the bench, there you go, they're all shit. So he's blaming the fans, and he's kind of had a dig at the owners, I think, indirectly, saying our squad isn't good enough, and he keeps saying things like, you could tell he wasn't interested in winning the cup, and then he's like, West Ham fans have kind of had it quite good, we've won something, I don't think we meant to do anything more than competing in the middle kind of tier of the table. That should be sufficient for a club of outstanding. Not in those words, but you can see where he's drifting towards, isn't it? And it's pissing us off, like already, like throwing in raising the white flag, throwing in the towel before the game. And you can see by the lineup that he had no intention to win. He had no intention to win the game. He didn't even put any effort into it. Kind of disrespected the travelling fans and everyone else connected with the club. It's that kind of stink coming from him. And I think a couple of weeks before that, he said, the squad's nowhere near good enough to be 6th. So if we're kind of a couple of places off it, be thankful for that. Fuck you, mate. Bollocks. And I'm going to share some stats with you that even I didn't know was that bad, right? And at the end, I'll tell you about my feeling, whether I'm in a Sullivan camp, or whether I'm in a Moyes camp, about how we're playing, what's going on. I mean, a lot of you still blaming Sullivan for not putting enough money in the club recently. We'll talk about that. Some of the stats are quite revealing, quite interesting, really. So, this show was about tackling and discussing the interesting theme at the moment around our club, where some fans are, they're happy with Moyes, happy with Sullivan. Some people always hate Sullivan, like Moyes. Some people hate both Sullivan and Moyes. And that kind of thing, really. Some people like Sullivan, but I hate Moyes. This is very interesting, isn't it? And then I'll tell you my opinion at the end, really. But let me share my screen, first of all. And I'm just going to show you something. So let's click on that button again. Let's go there. Where have we gone? There we go. Okay. It's transfer income and expenditure, everyone. Where are we? There we go. So this website, Transfer Market, I use it quite a lot. David Moyes, in this current spell at West Ham, came into the club 2019-20 season, if I'm not mistaken. And this table here is kind of worldwide. it kind of shows you how much money clubs have spent and how much money's come in, and then it gives you a net balance figure in the right row there, really. And you can see sort of worldwide Chelsea since that 1920 season to date. Yeah, 788 million outlay, the net position outlay. So yeah, you can see that. United after that, City, Arsenal, Spurs, which is kind of what we expected. So as I said, the Premier League is the strongest, the most richest league in the world, and that's portrayed here with the top 5 teams there spending the most money from our league. West Ham are 12th, net spend outlay negative 290 million euros, right? And that's 12th globally, right? That's 12th, and you can't knock that. You can't knock the owners putting in that much money. I mean, you can't compete with Newcastle, who are the next ones up and by a lot more. I get that, but look at Villa, 364 million, and they're just below. Hang on, where they gone? Let me see. Hang on. Actually, I don't even think this is in order, is it? Let me put it in order. 1 minute. Hang on a minute. There we go. Sorry about that. It looks even better for Sullivan, to be fair. There we go. So Chelsea minus 788, United still the same positions, but yeah, Newcastle jump into 5th, negative 486 million. So yeah, the top 5 are from our club. Then you got the Saudi club, I think, 400 million. Then City in 7th, Villa 8th. We're kind of just behind PSG, and we're ahead of Liverpool. We have spent more money, everyone, more net spend than Liverpool since David Moyes came in that season 1920 to date. And you look at this, we're the 10th highest spenders globally. I'm not going to knock the owners for that, and I have been mentioning that, and I didn't even know that before this table this morning when I had a look at it. I mean, stats can lie, stats can hide certain things, but not facts like this. Stats can lie about people like Souček, like look how much running he does and blah blah blah, but I know kind of there's more to it than that. It's in front of you. The board have put in more than a reasonable amount of money, right? Just gonna cough in a minute. Still carrying that terrible cough that everyone's got. So before we decide on whose side we're on, you can't blame the owners for not backing David Moyes in the market. We're the 10th highest spenders. More net spend than Liverpool and people like Juve, Barcelona, teams like that, right? And then ahead of us, you've got Villa, City, Newcastle, Spurs, United, right? And the least you can expect, I mean, Brentford, Brighton and Brentford, they're not even going to, well, Brentford are 35, aren't they? Palace, 30th, Fulham are in there. So some of those clubs are ahead of us in the league, as you know. But listen, that is telling me straight away that you can't really not say that the owners have not kind of supported and backed David Moyes, right? So that's kind of argument one. We're the 10th highest net spenders in the world since David Moyes came in. He can't complain about the squad. It's his squad. All these people we're going to go into later on, talk about the squad. They're his players. The people he doesn't, if they're bad, and he's telling us, oh, I told you so-and-so on the bench isn't good, but you don't listen to me. What's that going to do with us? You brought them in. Either you sell them, recycle the cash, but you don't ask for more money, mate. You've got to get rid of those 3, 4, 5 players, and you're going to get 100 million back, mate, if you sort yourself out. It's inability to effectively use a transfer market. And another interesting thing, again, let me bring that up for you, right? Again, I've been banging on about this. Let me show you the next stat that's so interesting. Let me just share my screen again with you guys. Where are we gone again? Hang on. Let's have a look where it's gone. Yeah, there we go. Let me share that with you guys. So have a look at this. This is the average age of the squad in the Premier League, right? So first of all, I showed you how, yeah, we're kind of the 10th highest expenditure, right, in the club. 10th high expenditure in Europe, in the world, sorry, right? And now I'm telling you that in the Premier League, we've got the oldest squad. So you've spent 10th high spenders in the world, no squad, No bench of any quality to talk about. The oldest squad. This is all to do with David Moyes. And if you look at even there's another thing I can show you. Probably not going to be on here, but there was another stat. Let me just shut the screen on that one. There was another stat that showed you how many players have come in and gone out, and we were one of the least active teams, again, globally and in the UK. I think we bought about 56 players in and got rid of 58 in those 4 seasons. That's one of the least amounts. So we got the oldest squad. We spent the 10th highest money, and we do the least. And we do one of the least amounts of business in terms of number of players coming and leaving. That's David Moyes all over. And there you go then. That kind of tells you everything about it, right? Now I'm going to go into the squad. Now I'm going to show you the squad we've got, and then we can mention some names, and you'll know that in that whole squad that there'll probably be only a handful of players that you would reasonably want to keep and can say that they're really, really good. So let me just share my screen again. Hang on, actually, don't know where it's ended up, but while I get that up, but yeah, just think about that for a minute. I mean, stats don't lie. I don't think you can ask the owners for anything more at the moment. I think they more or less have kind of backed the manager up. But here we go. Got it in now. There we go. Let me just show you the screen. There we go. Perfect. Let me just get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so first of all, let's count how many players are in the squad roughly. You've got 4 there, haven't we? 4, 8, 12, 13. Got 17, 21, 22... 25, 26. Right, 26 players in the squad, everyone, that the website is telling us that we've got. So let's count how many of those we regard as really, really good and worthy of a top 6 ambitious club team, right? Again, you can have a go at me. I don't like any of the goalkeepers, I'll tell you straight up right now, right? We'll go into a bit more detail later on, but Fabianski, listen, he's getting on the end of it. He's doing what he can. Areola's got to show me a lot more. Wasn't that good yesterday either. Zuma, okay, that's 1. Who we got here? Emerson. I don't want to be nasty to him, so I'll stick him in there. That's 2. But whether he'll do it next year, the year after, which we should be looking at, it'll be hard for him. But okay, I'll be generous. Okay, so we got 2 players so far at 26, haven't we? Zuma, Emerson. Who else we got here? Ward-Prowse, I'll be right with him. 3. Paqueta, 4. Kudos, 5. Alvarez, 6. We got here. We got Bowen at 7. 7 out of 26 we got. Right, 7 out of 26. That's kind of what we're looking at there percentage wise, mate. Not a lot, are we? There we go, 26%. So 26% of the squad. 26% of the squad is what we would regard as being useful and worthy of starting every week, week in, week out. After being 10th high spenders, we got the oldest team, least amount of transfer business we've done, and we concluded that only 25% of this team is really good enough to really do well for us in the next up and coming seasons and worthy of a start week in, week out. And if you highlight some of the expensive people that they're going nowhere in terms of career. I mean, you've got people. Mavropoulos, 17 million. I haven't seen anything. Kera, again, a little bit less than that, I think, going nowhere. Agard, 33 million. Not good enough for me, right? You got Fornells. You've got, who else you got there? Cornet, 20 million. You've got Danny Ings, 18 million, haven't you? Ben Rama, 25 million. And then you've got players that you ain't going to get any money for. And they're hardly doing anything. You got Cressy, you got Johnson. Who else you got there? You can't say nothing about Mobama. He's not been given a chance. You got Downs is in there. He's probably championship at best. But you see what I mean. You get my drift now in the argument. Stats show you, facts show you. Stats and facts are telling you it's all David Moyes' own grave he's dug. He's dug his own grave for himself. There's no arguing that fact. And to watch football like that, even when we were winning, the football's fucking dire. I remember the Sheffield United game, even though we won, it was bad. Really, really bad, right? He's running out of excuses. He's very, very lucky that, the dressing room he hasn't lost. There are good pros, and there's 5, 6 pivotal people that the whole club is on their shoulders. Otherwise, it will collapse. If something happened to Bowen, Kudos, Zuma, Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, we're fucked. That's 5 players. That's it. 5 players, and then the 2 like Souček and Emerson are kind of okay, right? Kufal gives it a little. There's nothing more than that. And if that's the return I had as an owner, I'll fucking get rid of him. I'll grip him up by the neck to get the fuck out of here, mate. There you go. I don't care if the next manager gets sacked in fucking 6 months. You've got to change this. There's no way the new manager's going to get that much money. I doubt it, right? And this is what I'm saying. We've won that conference by hook or crook. It just happened. I don't know whether it was a quality. Even in the final, we weren't all that, but we done it. He somehow just does it, right? It's fucking shocking, right? And for me, I'm going to say that Sullivan's all right. He's given him support. He could have sacked him October. What more does a manager want? He's got all the backing. He won't be sacked unless he loses 6 games in a row. It's that kind of loyalty. He's already the most high-serving probably in the league and the oldest and the most experienced. Coaching team, revolving door, technical director to help him. He ain't going to talk. It's all going to kick off in the January window. Tim and David are fucking not going to be on the same wavelength, same page. I'm telling you right now. One guy's young, trying to make things happen. The other one is just shutting the door on him, right? And it's stubbornness, right? And I've just fucking had enough of that. We all got family, friends who support Liverpool. I've had no messages, but it's fucking embarrassing. I was embarrassed of our club yesterday on the pitch. It's embarrassing being a West Ham fan yesterday. The whole world was watching that, all over the world. And again, it ain't about losing. It's the way how you lose and what you do on the pitch. We didn't even turn up. You should have seen the messages by Liverpool fans on Twitter yesterday. They were like, shit, we didn't know you the guys are this bad. And this again pisses me off. You meet neutral fans saying, oh, you must be loving it under David Moyes. You fucking don't know what we're going through. It's our club, mate. You know, poor little West Ham won a cup. Oh, keep David Moyes for fucking life. Build a statue of him outside the ground. Fuck off, mate. You ain't got a clue, mate. And this is coming from a man who had 3 season tickets and now he fucking goes once every 6 weeks because it's that dire. And I don't even go there to watch on the pitch. I go there to meet friends, go meet ex-players and things like that, mate. It's got to this level. I mean, put in your comments what you think. But listen, for me, I'm okay with Sullivan, right? And Moyes, he needs to just fuck off at the club. If after 4 or 5 seasons that's what you can show us, mate. Stupid comments in the interviews, getting moody, getting lippy with the reporters, asking him direct questions, questioning the board's backing and having a go at the squad. They're your players and you don't even talk to them, you don't even motivate them, you don't even improve them, you don't even know how to do any other tactic or something. You don't know how to do fucking none of these things. The day he fucking gets sacked, oh my God, it's going to be like a huge weight off my shoulders. I'm going to have the biggest party going and I'm going to be so happy when he's fucking gone, mate. Seriously, it just pisses me off. But I thought I'd get it out of the way. Some really, really interesting stats there for you. Let me know in the comments what you think. I hope I've covered everything and summarised it. And kind of for me, it's kind of Sullivan, he's done all right in terms of backing, you know. We'll never know who's brought the players in. I can't go into that. That's behind closed doors. I can't tell you whose players have come in, whose haven't, or who's he said yes and no. I can't go into that, right? But what I can tell you is facts and stats, and they're out there. We are the 10th highest net spenders in the world. We've got the oldest team in the Premiership, and we do the least amount of transfers as well. There you go. Listen, that's it from me. You guys have a lovely day, and we'll catch up soon with another programme. Take care. Come on, you irons.